welcome back to another episode of the Rap Dad Podcast. I'm Junes, and as always,
it's Melancholy.
Damn straight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're really excited for this episode. You guys know where to find us. Follow us on Instagram at the Rap Dad Podcast. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review, and you are subscribing to the new YouTube channel. I mean, we're over here doing things and stuff.
Be a part of things as well.
But enough about us. We have a very special guest in the house. We have Mostafa.
Yo, peace. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making it through. You are on tour, so I know time is limited because you have to travel and you have to get to a certain city at a certain time, and some of those drives are pretty far. I know that. I know how that goes. So thank you for waking up early and coming here, making it before your drive out to the next city. Dope show last night, by the way.
Thank you.
You always crush it. But before I start asking you questions and talking your ear off, I want you to go ahead and drop all your social medias. Let the folks know where to find your music, your YouTube, where they can find the info for your tour, all that good stuff.
It's just at follow Mostafa on everything. It's Mostafa. So at follow Mostafa. That's it.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. Easy as that. And as always, we'll have his links down in the description because I know you motherfuckers are lazy, just like us. Yeah, dude. So how's the tour been? Let's go ahead and hop into that.
It's been good. I haven't toured since before the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we were 2 weeks into like a 92-city tour and had to cancel.
Damn.
So that was rough, and I got a little discouraged. Haven't toured since. It's my first time back, and the love has been amazing. And
hell yeah,
seeing old family, all that, it's love.
How many cities? I saw the flyer.
I think it's 22.
22.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
Yeah, you and Landon are still
just grinding.
The only artists that we've met, independent artists that we've met through doing shows and stuff, that still consistently just book a shit ton of shows and hit the road. It's really, really dope to see. It's inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes me feel lazy as fuck. It's like, damn it, dude, I'd love to do that. So are you out? You're out here solo 100%? No, you ain't got no merch person, no road dog, nobody. You're just...
No, just me.
Just a lot of thinking time in the car?
A lot of thinking time. A lot of reflecting.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Plus, you're really far away from your home now because you recently moved to Egypt.
Yes.
God damn.
Long way from home.
I was going to say, it's been a long time. I mean, before that you lived, in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, just following you recently, that's, where your heritage is from and stuff like that. Do you have family out in Egypt and stuff like that?
I do. My dad is out there, and I've got some
damn.
uncles and aunts and stuff. So it's been cool to reconnect with my dad for sure. I haven't seen him in a very long time, and even when I was younger, we didn't know each other too much. Mm-hmm. So getting to know each other more and reconnecting and all of that has been great. But he lives out in the countryside in Egypt, and I live in the city. So it's like it's a little bit of a trip.
Yeah. So how did that all work? Were you just like, I'm kind of sick of the way shit's going here. I need a little change, because that's a whole different. Even though you have family there, that's way different than America.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's way different. The culture is definitely so. But I just wanted to change pretty much, and I wanted to try like taking the music international, break into the European tour circuit, all that, and it made sense to make the move over because I'm already a citizen. It was the easiest move. I wanted to reconnect with my roots and my dad and all of that. So,
damn.
Already a citizen. So were you born there then?
I wasn't. I was born in the Persian Gulf.
Ah, okay.
But we got citizenship here when I was about 17.
Okay.
So, but I've always been a dual citizen.
Okay.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope because you're like, when Trump became president, you're like, well,
I'm out.
I can get the fuck out of here, right?
Going to Egypt.
No, that's really cool. So, I mean, what are some of the major differences as far as music goes, being here and then being over there?
I think that the scene over there is very, very it's newer, so it's fresher.
Okay.
And there's a lot more excitement surrounding it still, and there's a lot of energy. Like, it's just a certain energy you get over there that you don't really feel over here anymore. Kind of like it was here back in the day.
Yeah, dude, where people are supporting each other and hyped on you. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Damn. So, being bilingual like that, obviously you released a song recently where it's two languages, and I was listening to it today. I have to ask this because I never met anybody besides Scars of Mars that raps in another language.
Yeah. I was thinking.
Does it rhyme the same way? Like your first verse and your second verse, do they rhyme similarly? They're two different languages.
I think with me, they rhyme similarly, but I think I'm still kind of learning how to rap in the second language because I've never rapped in Arabic before that. So,
Okay. I wouldn't have known at all because
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, he's like multisyllabic fucking rhyming in this.
Yeah,
It's crazy,
yeah.
dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's super crazy. Okay.
You know how when you're writing, when you're rapping, you're kind of playing with the language, playing with the words. So with it being new to me as far as playing with it like that,
Okay, that's definitely understandable. You're like not exactly sure what everything might mean in certain contexts, so that's understandable. You don't want to say something that's like off kilter,
right?
you know. Like, so do you have any partners out there that you've been working with? Any producers or anybody that you record with out there?
Not yet. I met a couple of people out there there's this dude out there. His Instagram is Oracle Ostra. His name's Mohammed. He's we call him Pico, like Picasso, but he's a super dope artist. He's very talented, and he works out of this studio where a lot of the artists go. So I've been fortunate enough to get to know him and meet some people through him, and it's been cool to kind of be like getting pushed into the middle of the scene.
Dude, that's, I mean, and also you're a pretty easy guy to get along with. You're very, you put off very good energy. The first time, I was thinking about it today, I'm like, how the fuck did I meet him? I don't even know how I met you in Landon, but it's like ever since I met you guys, we've been friends, and it was like instant. It was like, we're on the same energy level, and like, so I imagine, they probably embraced you with open arms because you're nice as fuck. So
yeah, it's definitely love. It's a lot of love out there, a lot of love everywhere, and I love that.
Yeah, a little bit of love goes a long way.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And I imagine they're probably pretty impressed because, I mean, obviously as an MC, you crush it. You can do fast rap. You have multisyllabic. My favorite thing is you do alliterations a lot, and I love that so much. It's pretty rare. I feel like it's kind of something that you've coined and you do very specifically and very well. So they must be kind of impressed because you can rip it in multiple languages. So
I was gonna
they're
ask,
probably like, God damn, he can rap.
Like coming from America, do you have that like new kid on the block kind of thing? Like, do they look at you a little different coming from the birthplace of it, I guess, of hip hop?
Yeah, they do, but also the culture over there is just they accept everybody, they love everybody, want to help everybody. So, like, they can see the difference. Like, there's this movie called Asiliswood, which is about an Egyptian that goes to America for like 2 years, then comes back and just can't even understand people anymore because things change so much.
Yeah.
And all my friends over there will be like, "You talk like Asilis," or like, "Oh no," you know what I mean? But
okay, that's cool though. They're like trying to find a comparison. No, that's cool that you're you're kind of just in the middle of it. You've already know people that work at a studio, and I feel like that's the hardest thing to do, let alone a new city, but a new country where you're not necessarily established. Finding other artists and finding a place you can record and feel comfortable, and like even finding a scene, it seems like it'd be so difficult, especially in a big ass city. I mean, you live in Cairo?
Cairo, yes.
God damn.
You've been there for a couple years now, right?
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah,
okay,
1 year, and gonna keep it going.
Was it kind of weird coming back to the States?
It was a little bit of reverse culture shock, just a little bit. And I had been talking to people in Arabic for so long, I had to kind of like relearn, like communicating with people in English and stuff. But yeah, it was cool to be back and see people.
I imagine because you came back prior to the tour. You came back and did a show. Didn't you come back and play with like Jizza?
I did. I came back real quick. Basically, the guarantee they gave me for that pretty much covered the plane ticket, so it was a free trip. So I was like, yes, I will do that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Come back for a little vacation. Come back to the stateside.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have a job. Why not? Let's go do it.
Stop it. Sorry, guys, I have a dog. Normally, we do this at nighttime. If you haven't noticed, it's the middle of the day.
It's the daytime.
Hey.
It's the middle of the day. You got to do stuff for the touring artists.
This is I woke up early for this phase.
No, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I was talking to him last night, and I was like, well, if you can't make it before, 11 or whatever, I've got to get my oil changed and be responsible. We can do it in the afternoon. And then he wrote me, he's like, nah, it's like almost a 4-hour drive, and don't want to be late to sound check. I mean, he is the touring act, so you got to be there on time.
Yeah, totally get it. That's the responsible move right there.
Yeah, so I mean, you're fairly early into this tour right now. You've done like 5 or 6 shows or something like that.
This was show 8. It's
Show
been a
8?
show a
Show
day
8. Okay.
since the first.
So, damn. So you've been nonstop. Do you have any days off, or are you doing straight, like 22 days straight?
I got some days off down in Southern California because my mama lives down there, and I like to spend time with her.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Good way to plan it. I mean, in Southern California, it's like nice weather and shit. Like,
yeah.
Not a bad place to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
So, out of the 8 shows that you've done so far, which one has been the best?
Man, Bellingham and Everett were both really, really cool. Close to what was home base over here for
absolutely.
me. And they were close to sold out, I think. And it was just really cool to see the love and see all my people and get that connection back with them that I was worried I had lost because I left. And sometimes people get mad at you like, oh, you abandoned us, you know?
Yeah. No, you don't want any of that feeling. You're like, what do you mean? I'm just trying to live my life a little bit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people over there are just really happy for me that I'm out there doing that, you know?
Dude, that's such a major thing, you know? When you know somebody and they, like, move to a different state, you're like, damn, all right, man, that's really dope, new chapter. I mean, that's a whole different world. It's completely different than the United States, let alone, you know, not moving. It's not the East Coast versus the West Coast. It's so different. So, I mean, anybody that wants to hate can go suck a D. That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, tell him. You heard it here first, straight from Junes.
Go suck a D for hating on his vacation. Right? No, dude. I mean, I love when people do stuff like that with their life. It's like, damn, I would love to do something like that too. It takes such guts. Number one, even if you do have uncles and family over there and stuff, it's still that's unknown territory. You know, you're not known there. You don't have like a friendship group or anything like that, you know. It's all new. So
yeah, man, I haven't been there since I was a little kid, and it's definitely changed a lot since then too.
Oh yeah,
so yeah, it was a whole different world.
Dude, the best part about going to new places or living in new places like that is it's like exploring the whole time. You know, everything is new to you, and like, so you can just walk around and be like, "This is dope." Especially the historic value.
That's anywhere too. I remember when I moved to Portland, and it was all new to me, and I would be telling my coworkers like, "Oh yeah, we went over here and did this," and they're like, "What the fuck is that? Like, where is that? I don't even know." I'm like, what? You lived here your whole life? You don't know?
Yeah, no. So yeah, and I mean the historic value, like I said, I mean,
of course.
Cairo, Egypt. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a doper move than moving to New York, in my opinion. Like, that's, I mean, where your bloodline is and everything. Like, I mean, you got to feel that connection when you're there. It's got to be
ancestral.
Really yeah, it's like kind of like I had this feeling like something was missing my whole life. I've been searching for home, where I fit in, where I belong. You know. And I got over there, and it was like instant. I was like, "Oh, this feels right. This feels good," you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really stoked on this tour. I hope the rest of it goes really good. But I'd like to talk about some of your other tours because, as we mentioned, you're a touring monster. You always have been. I think that's how I met you. Is you were booked through someone in Reno, and I met you in Landon, and I was like, holy Jesus Christ, these guys are monsters. But I mean, you guys have toured together before, you and Landon, but you guys, I mean, have been on tours with legitimate headliners. Like, you know, I mean, you have a song with Gift of Gab. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the other people that you've toured with?
One Below, and that's really it as far as touring goes. I've done shows with people all around the country just randomly while I've been on tour, and they were in the same city or something.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
You're like, that's got to be a blessing, you know, to be able to open for like a headliner, and you're like in New Mexico or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's always a blessing. It's always really cool to be able to open for the people that you bumped when you were growing up, and you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean. You know.
But it's a little different when it's your hometown, you know, where you've established like you can bring people out. You know, when you're out on your own tour and something like that happens, like that's just like the music universe being like, here's a little present for you. Here's a reminder, you know, keep doing what you're doing, you know, because it's a long road. People think that it's an instant success type thing. They don't understand that when you're an independent artist like this and you're grinding and trying to build a fan base in person, it's fucking hard.
It's a lot. You wear the hats of many different people.
Yeah, long days, long nights. I mean, as we talked about, I mean, he's probably at the show until 1 o'clock last night. Yep. Had to be up, come over here before noon, do a podcast, hop in a car, drive 4 hours to the Bay Area, and then play a show, be there all night. It's like, you know, maybe famous rappers that get to sleep on a fucking tour bus, but
have everybody
do shit for you,
taking care of stuff for them.
But when
you're a
when you're
one-man
out
show.
here by yourself, setting up your merch, watching your merch, making sure the sound check is right, it's a lot to navigate. It's a lot to mentally obtain too.
Yeah, that's why being alone has been kind of cool. Just time to while I'm on the drives, I get some alone time for once, and I get to process the night before all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Yeah.
Has that helped with writing? Do you write when you drive at all?
I do.
Okay.
Don't tell my mama. But yeah.
I always think about that because when I drive, obviously you listen to music. Typically, most people do, especially when you're driving, 4, 6, 7 hours, stuff like that. You got a lot of time to start thinking, and eventually you get tired of just thinking.
Sure.
So you throw on some instrumentals or something, and you're like, oh damn, well that was dope. So I was curious if that's if you're gonna come out with an album from this. Yeah, I made this EP while I was driving.
While I was driving.
On the road.
Whole thing written on the road, and I mean on the road.
So your next couple of shows are out in the Bay Area.
Yes.
This will be out next week. This will be out on Thursday of next week. So it'll be past these shows, obviously. But who you play with out in the Bay Area? Anybody? I think I saw Vocab Slick and DJ True
Slick,
Justice.
Foreign Legion, DJ True
Yeah,
Justice.
Foreign Legion. Legendary.
Out in Oakland. And Lil Flower Nasty out in Santa Rosa tonight. That's tonight, yeah. I was going to say tomorrow. I get confused.
Starts to blend together.
Right.
AKI and some dope cats out in San Francisco. And there's a cool little event called Grindosaurus Flex out in Stockton that I got booked for that I didn't even know I got booked for. I just saw the poster and I was like, oh, okay, I'll be there.
I guess I'll show up
Yeah,
then.
shit. Did you book this tour yourself, or did you use a
I booked
management?
it myself.
Damn.
And anybody that knows about trying to put a show on, it's fucking hard.
That's always what blew me away when I met you guys too. I think I met you guys at the One Below show. But yeah, because we would do these little mini tours or whatever, and he takes care of everything. He books everything and everything. So it's just like seeing you guys do these monster fucking 20 plus city tours. It's like, damn,
dude, it's fucking hard. You get a lot of no's.
yeah.
It's about 3 months behind the scenes of talking to people, following up, hitting up other people, chasing things down until you find what you need.
Yeah, me and him messaged back and forth. I mean, 20 fucking times trying to figure something out for him because before the pandemic, Reno was a nice little place. I used to be able to book shows. I had a couple little venues that we could always work with.
Yeah, Jubs is gone.
Jubs is gone.
Yeah,
And
all of that left.
That first show I did with you at Singer Social Club, yeah, that was the spot. I really liked that spot.
That spot was super dope.
Yeah, it was a nice little period in our life where it was perfect location, right downtown. I mean, right next to Tonic Lounge.
Yeah, a lot of foot traffic.
The owner of the bar was like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super cool.
He would let me run it. He's like, book who you want, when you want. There's a day that he was closed and he opened the bar. He came down and opened the bar.
Yeah.
And let us put a show on because the original venue didn't have mics and it totally fucked the touring artist over. And I was like, I can probably help you guys out. Called him up and he's like, yeah, I'll be down there in an hour.
Yeah.
It's normally closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
And he came down and opened it up and let us put a show on.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was legit. It's goddamn. And now it's it's a struggle for us to book our own show in our own fucking town.
Oh, damn.
It's there's venues that'll work with us because they know who we are, but everybody's like, well, you have to rent the room. $600. And I'm like, you want me to give you $600 to play a show? It's like,
yeah.
So you want me to come pay you, and then also you get to keep 100% of the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not worth
Yeah,
it.
it's so you want me to pay for merch money?
We
Play
don't
for
work
merch
with
money?
people
No.
like that.
No, it's
Nah.
it's we're trying to build something here. That's why,
I was
the show
sorry,
we have
yeah.
in next week or the week after that is at the Ranch House, and they're like, dude, whatever you want. They got good sound, but it's just a big venue. That's the only problem. It's a 500 cap venue, and it's we're not gonna have that there.
There'll be some people though.
Yeah, but
How was the spot last night? I haven't been over there.
it's
It was
not. It's
cool.
cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's. I've never even been inside there. before.
I've seen it. I've never been
Yeah,
inside.
I've driven
either,
by.
though.
I didn't know what to expect, but it's nice. It's really small. You can get 30 to 50 people in there, and it'll be fucking packed.
Okay,
It's
okay.
real small.
Kind of like Loving Cup a little bit.
Yeah, but Yeah, actually, maybe
Yeah.
even a little bit smaller.
Okay.
It's definitely small. They got a nice little stage in the corner. It was really cool, honestly. I mean, obviously, could use a little bit sound work.
Sure.
But it's not a venue technically, so
Exactly,
you know how
yeah.
it goes.
Yep.
I mean, they had the same par lights that we use on the walls here.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
they were using like for their lights and shit
Okay.
like that. So it's still really new, but it's cool. Like it's good to know like that's an available option.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I mean we could book a show there and sell it out easy. Like
Yeah, of
not a
course.
problem because I doubt their cap's over 75.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was another great location. Downtown's changing a lot, especially on 4th Street. They got the Lead Dog Brewery right next door, so it's like it was a nice little area. Not too many homeless stragglers on the sidewalk. There's one or
It's
two.
always
of them.
good.
One or two.
Yeah.
It was a nice little turnout. Obviously, Homage always rips it. With the chemical clouds. And Dilano is a grizzly bear in human form. He's up there growling and shit. Love it, dude. Yeah, dude. He's like a more aggressive idea, as we know.
Yeah.
And and then your set, dude. This guy, he's like, I'm just gonna say a lot of words really fast. He just starts ripping into this beat, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
dude, it was so gnarly. I wanted to ask you last night. Do you bring your own mic? You have your own mic?
I
That
have my own
cordless
mic, yeah.
Smart man.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, why is his mic better than everybody else's? It must be his.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt that the promoter was like, we'll save this one for him.
Yeah, promoters don't do that.
No,
shit.
it's really rare.
Nice.
No, that's
What's
cool.
You're fucking amazing at writing. You sound great.
Thank you.
On beat. Like you're always right in the pocket. You kill it every single time. And for anybody next time he comes through, amazing live set. Every single time I've seen you, you've always killed it. What's your favorite aspect of the whole thing? I guess writing, recording, performing.
Like my favorite part of as far as like the creation process.
Yeah. Is it the writing, or do you just do that
I think
so you
it's-
can get on stage?
It's a little bit of everything
Yeah.
because performing, I really love really connecting with people, and like meeting new people and having them feel good, seeing them being happy while I'm up there feels really, really good.
Yeah.
Writing, it's a big outlet for me. I always feel better after I've written about something that I've gone through,
Sure.
kind of like closing a chapter. Well, closing a chapter once you release it. But so it's a little bit of everything, really. Recording is probably the most frustrating part because I have to do everything in one take. I won't punch in. So
I feel you. That's
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
yeah, so I'll do it over and over and over again. Yeah.
But that helps so much. Number one, helps you if you haven't gotten the verse memorized. After a few times of rapping the entire verse over and over, you're like, all right, well, I don't need my phone anymore. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
already
exactly.
imprinted
Yeah.
in your brain. And then it helps with the live performance because you're like, well, I recorded this whole fucking thing, so I know I
Yeah.
can spit it live.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
I understand
some
that.
of the homies will be like, I've never seen you miss a word. I'm like, well, I wrote it and then I recorded it. Like, what do you mean? And then Landon always forgetting his words.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's damn.
Well, you guys rap so
Yeah.
many goddamn
I was
words
just,
sometimes.
that's what I was
you
just
know?
going to
It's
say.
like,
I'm
yeah.
trying to process some of the songs, and you guys are very, very technical rappers.
Oh, yeah.
And Lynn is ridiculous. Like, he's always creating. Like, I've heard probably about 6 or 7 albums that he made that he just never put out because he just moved on to the next project so fast.
I was going to
Sounds
say,
about
he
right.
writes a lot.
Yeah. So I understand forgetting some words here and there when you write that much.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. And it's every time I try to punch in, it's really rare that it never sounds right.
I can never get it to like.
It's
Right,
like my
yeah.
tone is a
Yeah.
little bit different. It's like I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can fucking hear it, and there's no way I'm putting this shit
Yeah.
out like that because every time I hear it, it's going to drive me nuts.
That's
Yep.
the worst
Like,
is when
Yeah.
you're all in the pocket and you're feeling good, and then you punch and it's just flat.
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
like-
like, oh, that just
Yeah,
ruined the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I record by myself. As you see, I got the corner set up because
Corner studio.
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
When I go to anywhere else and I'm recording, I'm just always saying sorry. I'm like sorry because I fucking will record a verse 40 times, and 22 of them I could have kept.
Sure.
I'm like I don't know.
Yeah.
I never know.
You do
I've
never
done-
know.
That's happened to me a lot where I just record it so many times and then I end up using the first take I did.
Right.
It's like, why did I do it? I just wasted so much time.
You don't do any vocal comping where you'll record 20 different takes and then cut up the the verses and take different pieces from them and make one?
No.
I mean, I'm never able to do that. I'm like, it doesn't sound right. It sounds
Doesn't
like
sound
three
right.
different people.
It's like so complicated too. I mean, it's not necessarily complicated, but it just seems like such an extra process to just do it.
Just rap it.
Yeah, exactly.
A good engineer will make it sound just fine. But
yeah, of course.
just if it don't sound right to me before I send it off, then I'm not happy with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you record, do you always go to studios? Do you record yourself?
I record myself.
You do?
Yes.
Nice. So did you flew all your equipment out to Cairo and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah, and I flew it back. It's in my car right now in case I want to make something on the road.
I was gonna say, you know,
pull
them
off
road
real quick,
raps.
yeah.
That road EP is gonna happen. He's gonna have it set up on his little dash thing right here. He's like rapping and driving, spitting a verse. Oh, dude, that would actually be pretty dope.
Right.
The tour EP.
Some little traffic noises in there. A little bit of road rage.
Denver was crazy. Oh man, so how far east are you going on this tour? Is it just like the West Coast?
I'm going as far east as Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then I start heading back up through Colorado and Utah and Nevada and Idaho.
So you're doing like a big old loop around?
Yeah, basically, this is a run that, this is kind of my go-to run. It's the run I've done a ton of times. So it's kind of like everywhere I've got some people that I really know, you know?
Yeah, you've built a foundation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I mean, goddamn, being able to do that and like come back after the pandemic, number one, and still be able to book, you know, a 20+ city tour as an independent artist is, I mean, it shows the amount of work you put in prior. I mean, that shit,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it obviously doesn't go unnoticed because, like he said, when we do these little 5 or 6 day tours, I book them and it's like, I get so many fucking no's because we've never played in those cities, and
Yep.
it's like being like, well, we got these locals to open, and it's like trying to maybe write it on the back of the locals at a certain point, and it's like it's hard. It takes multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, hence the reason that we did the same route like 3 years in a row because the third time
We had
around
a
they're
foot
like,
in the door,
All
yeah.
right, we know you guys will come through. So it's like,
Right.
fuck, dude.
Yep.
So the amount of time that you've spent building that to where you can have a go-to 20+ city tour, you know, it's these folks just don't understand the amount of fucking work it's put in, you know. And that's the whole thing that, you know, I do want to talk about a little bit is the behind the scenes thing. A lot of it goes unnoticed. I mean,
Yes.
70% of the work nobody ever even sees.
Exactly.
You know, the writing, the recording, the driving, the practicing, the designing of merch, all the little things just so you can go play a show and have a little section at the merch table and do a 20-minute set. It's like
Yeah.
hours and hours and hundreds and thousands of dollars over a year. It's just
It's my whole life.
absolutely. And that's the thing that's like people don't understand. They're like, oh man, you really like this shit. It's like, nah, I love this shit. What you
Yeah.
don't understand is it's who I am.
Yeah.
It's me as a person. It's like, nah, it's not like just a little hobby where I'm over here just rhyming fucking napkin and captain. It's
Yeah.
like, listen to the song. That was like when I almost wanted to die.
And that's like, and that's the thing too, is it's like, I mean, not that you're not dope or anything, but like 22 cities aren't hitting you up all at once being like, come out on tour. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're the one reaching out, putting in the groundwork, getting these things
Right.
moving and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of work behind it.
Are you? Do you have a city that you're most happy to go to and play in on this tour?
I like them all.
Good man. He's PR. He's PR as shit. He's like, I ain't saying nothing bad about nowhere. I'm going to all of them. Now, I know what that's like, though, because like you said, you've got, you know, folks everywhere that you go. Like this, I mean,
Yeah.
I was super stoked to see you. It's been fucking years.
Yeah.
since I've seen you,
I
you
was
know?
so excited to see y'all. I'd love seeing everybody that I haven't seen in forever. And like to me, like when it comes to music especially, I feel like for me it's very community based. It's family. You know what I mean?
100%.
So like then not seeing my family in each city for a while, it really like messes with me. Like I miss y'all and I want to come back out and just to kick it with
sure,
y'all
yeah.
either.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, you're building your life out in Egypt. It's so crazy to say. You're building your life out in Egypt.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do have a whole life here in the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not just in the Pacific Northwest where you were based at before you left, but like you said, you travel so much and you meet so many people. And I mean, you used to do it every goddamn year. I think we saw you like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, honestly, you and Landon are part of the reason we started booking those little tours. And I was like, fuck, dude. I want to do that. And it's really fucking hard, you know? And I mean, there's times when, you know, I'm like, oh, we're playing these cities. And he would just hit me up and be like, if you guys ever come up to Bellingham, let me know. Like, always open arms, you know what I'm saying? And that's probably part of the reason that people are always like, oh, yeah, you're coming? Fuck, I'll come see you, man. You know, it's that one hand washes the other type of thing, you know? You've always offered help, even when we never were like, hey, can you hook us up with something? You're always like, let me know if you ever come up here. Like, always offering. And that's fucking rare nowadays. A lot of rappers are stingy. Yeah. You know? I mean...
I think that's a big part of the culture in Egypt, too, I'm finding out, which I think is where that comes from with me specifically, is people just open arms, always want to help you, all of that. So it's probably something to do with that. And y'all are cool. Y'all are cool as fuck. So
appreciate that. Right back at you. Like, you know... Like-minded people end up connecting one way or another. I feel like, you know.
I have a very, very, very fuzzy memory. 'Cause I drank a lot back in those days, but
yeah, he's like several years sober now.
Yeah, 3 years sober now. Yeah,
oh, nice. I'm coming up on 2.
Hell yeah, man.
That's awesome. Hell
I
yeah.
remember.
I was drunk last night.
I remember.
I got drunk last night.
I remember the first time I met you guys. I think I opened for you guys and One Below, right? I played that show, I think.
Yeah. Was it the Rubens Cantina one? No.
Jub Jub's
okay,
small room. Yeah.
That's right.
And then we were kicking it or whatever, and we were all cool. And then Junes was like, hey, they need a place to stay. Can they stay at your place tonight? I was like, yeah, but I lived in a fucking loft.
That's right. Yeah. You lived in that loft apartment.
Yeah, and then so we just kept drinking and everything. And then you guys came back to my small-ass little loft, deep into an alcoholic's fucking no cleaning. There's probably just empty tall cans everywhere. Me and Landon played fucking Madden for like 2 hours and then just passed out. And then I woke up and you guys were gone.
I remember that.
Yeah, like it never happened. You're like, was that a dream?
Was that a dream?
It's fun. I forgot that we came to Reno with One Below, but I remember your loft specifically and you and Landon playing Madden and shit. I remember that.
Yeah, no, it's you spent some time in Reno. Like, I mean, you guys are the homies. You and Landon, like, pretty much the only people to ever hit us up ever and be like, hey, we're doing some show. Do you want to be on this tour? Like, Landon's hit me up more than once and been like, hey, I think we're going to be doing a tour in October with Sky Zoo. And I'm like, fucking what? Why are you hitting me up?
Right.
Yeah. I know you know so many better rappers, dog. Like, what's up? And it's just, you know, he appreciates us always trying to help whenever we can. That's why when you hit me up and you're like, can you help me book something in Reno? I was like, fuck, I don't know any promoters. I don't know. And I mean, I'm glad something did work out that way. You don't have like a missed date or you got to drive 5 hours in another direction or some shit like that. So I'm glad it worked out.
Only 2 weeks later could I have been on the showcase.
I told him that. I told him, I was like, hey, we got a showcase coming up and we'll put you right in the middle. You'll have the best slot. You'll get paid. And he's like, well, I already have that date booked somewhere else and it's a paying show. He's like, otherwise I'd say fuck but you know, when you're on the road and you get those early books in a place that you already know,
you're gonna turn down the money.
Hell no. And you know that's going to be a good show already. So.
For sure.
But I'm glad everything worked out. You know, I felt bad. I told Al, I was like, if we didn't have a goddamn show, our own headline show, we would have played last night. Absolutely.
That would have been dope.
You know, I was like, fuck, man.
I'm trying to catch Glass Tongue live again, man.
Yeah, things have changed a bit.
You could have just like not promoted you were playing and then played anyway.
Yeah, I could have done that, but that's bullshit. If we're going to play it and we want to bring people out, we want to try to... Well, I thought there was going to be a cover, too. That's why I was like, let's try to get this guy some fucking money.
No, he told me it was going to be... I was trying to, like, talk to him before the show, like, hey, hit me with the details. I'm trying to promote, make sure you make your money back, you know, at least break even or something on paying me out. And he was like, oh, no, it's no cover. This is just for love. I was like, oh, dope. Okay.
All right. I mean, it was cool. It was a cool little spot. I never drank mead before in my life. Didn't drink it last night either.
I never done it. Nope. Still haven't.
Well, I don't know. I'm like,
so that's not just the name of it. They literally
they serve. Yeah, they got
there.
Like
I think they make it there.
It's fucking.
It's so cool. The bartenders were super dope. Peace to
shit.
y'all. Thanks for having me again.
They were really cool. The lady was really cool. I saw a beer. I was like, what is that? A Montucky? She's like, yeah, it's like an 8% Coors. He's like, it's like 8% water. And I was like, I'll try one. Easiest beer I've ever drinking in my life. I was like, I could see getting 8% off of these, and they're like not tall cans, but not normal sized beers. They're like in between.
God damn!
I drank 2 of them, and I was like, fucking, I am buzzed. And I was like, all right, let me get a cocktail. And this dude made the sexiest cocktail I've ever seen. He was over there fucking crafting it and fucking taking
shit.
pieces of mandarin and like folding it and putting on like just the decorations
Got
and shit.
a beaker and a lab set over there.
I just asked for an old fashioned. He's like, well, I can make you our version of an old fashioned. Gave me a fucking ice cube with honeycomb in it and shit. I was just like,
Oh, dope.
Damn.
it was a $14 drink.
Shout out Black Rabbit Mead.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
It's cool. I'd love
Yeah.
to do a little show there. I had no idea what to expect. It was a really cool show, and I'm glad that it all worked out.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out. Because last time you were here, it wasn't a huge turnout at that one spot.
Dead Ringer
Yeah.
had just opened up.
It just
I
opened
remember
up.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So
I told him to hit up Dead Ringer too if this one didn't work because they're like established now. They have
now they're
they do shows like
yeah.
3 times a week there. So
yeah,
Yeah.
they were like brand new when you came through the last
Yeah.
time.
I did hit them up. I emailed them like initially when I was first throwing out things, but I never heard back. So
that tends to be the common theme in
Yeah,
Reno.
yeah.
Even to their locals, like I do for the life of me, I can't book Holland Project. I've been trying to book
what's that
Holland
about?
Project for fucking years.
Yeah.
I don't even get a response. And it's like, hey, you guys are like 150 cap. We could sell you the fuck out. We could easily do that. Let us put a showcase on there.
Yeah.
it's a lot of places that just have like a stigma against hip hop specifically and things like that. So
They rarely do hip hop there. It's true. It's pretty.
Yeah.
But some of the other local dudes in town, they have some kind of connection because they do all their shows there.
You got to know somebody.
well, why
Know
don't you
somebody.
talk to them and get them to get you in?
They said, "Oh, we just emailed them," and I'm like, "No, you fucking didn't. I know you know somebody." 'Cause I emailed them too, and we sell a shit ton of tickets for all the shows we
Yeah.
play. That's the reason that the promoters around here will book us, is because they know they're like, "Well, these guys will get off 50 or 60 fucking tickets." So it's like, just book us, Holland. God damn it.
Come on, Holland Project.
At this
what I'm
point, I don't even want to. I'm gonna work with every other venue, but fuck it, dude. I'm gonna work with the Cypress. So this tour, you're 8 days in, driving by yourself. You do have merch. Do you have a website where people can buy merch and shit too?
I do. Follow Mostafa.com.
He's got vinyl. I know you guys are vinyl people out there. I know we got hip hop heads in here. This guy's got a fucking record player.
I do,
Go
yeah.
buy one of his vinyls.
Only 220 copies pressed, and they won't be pressed again.
Yeah, it's you get it, and you're gonna be one of only 220 people that have it. It's super dope. I was looking at them last night on the merch table. Very, very, very done. Like high quality. I imagine those are probably pretty expensive. Them shits are not cheap to get those printed. Hold on a second. Well, we are almost at our break time anyways. My son just came out. Perfect timing. He's my alarm
He's
for
the
our
alarm
halfway
clock, yeah.
point. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. I got to go pee. And then we're going to come back and jump back in and learn a little bit more about Mostafa.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in a second. All right. We are back from the break. Dogs had to pee. I had to pee. Jeez. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about sobriety a little bit. Considering both you guys have that in common here, and I am just a drunk fool. Was there a specific reason you decided to get sober?
A lot of people were dying, and they were like the OGs, like Gab, rest up. And I had some friends too locally die. I was like, I live a very similar lifestyle to these people. Some of them were my age, and some of them were just a little bit older. So I was like, I need to make a change. And I wanted to sharpen up the mind again, get back to being focused, get things done. Like I never would have been able to move to Egypt if I hadn't made the choice to be sober. I wouldn't have had the money. I would have spent it all
Sure,
up.
yeah.
That's true.
Because you were a bartender back in Bellingham, right?
I was,
Yeah.
for a long time. And that comes with, the party scene, after hours, all that. And then
Late nights, dude.
anytime I wasn't bartending, I was on the road, which is bar to bar, city to city. So same thing. It was just nonstop. And it was like, I need to step back for a minute.
So what's the biggest takeaway from that? What have you noticed? Like, what's the biggest thing you've noticed from being sober?
I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more focused. My priorities aren't all mixed up. It just feels better. Like at first it was hard, but
Oh yeah, I bet.
if you tough it out for a minute, it just feels a lot better after time.
Just
And
becomes normal.
becomes normal, and you realize that like wasting all your time on just like shallow relationships and booze and drugs, all that, it doesn't really fulfill you at all. It keeps you from getting to that point.
You start to see like your real friendships.
Yeah.
There's people that and the only thing that you really have in common is that you party.
Right.
You know, like that's what him and I did a lot. You know, we go out and play a show, and we just go get hammered and walk around and do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And when you get sober, you start to see who really hits you up and who is a part of your life, and
yes.
you know, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Everybody has those part-time friends or those, you know, people in your life that are there for that part of your life. Doesn't mean they always have to be there, but it kind of sucks though, because you start to see like true colors per se of people. You know, you're like, damn, since I got sober, we've talked once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't, you know, the only thing we had in common is I would serve you alcohol or we go out and get drunk. You know, and it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like that extra fat you didn't need it on you got cut off anyways.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a good riddance in a way.
For sure.
You know, which not a lot of people talk about, you know, losing friends like that. Is sometimes it's good to shed those motherfuckers out of your life. You know, at the time you may not look at it like that, but you're like, well, since we haven't talked and I've been sober, shit's been a lot better. You know, so sometimes you have to take a step back and really look at that. And also the culture in Egypt, I'm not sure of it, but I'm pretty sure they're not like too boozy there, are they?
They are not, and it's super dope because they kick it at cafes like it's a bar. And they'll get like cool, like little refresher drinks, non-alcoholic, or like tea or some stuff like that. Maybe puff on a hookah, get some food. And groups like kind of kick it there and they stick around like for a while and they intermingle and like you meet people like that. And it's really cool to see. And the conversations are a lot more meaningful. And it's just
authentic.
yeah.
It's just not drunk babble.
Yeah.
No.
Let's just start a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's really cool. I wanted to ask about the food a little bit. Obviously, that's your heritage, so you're used to certain kinds of foods. I'm sure your palate's a little bit different, but I mean, being there for a year, are you ever like, did I just want like a fucking In-N-Out burger? Are there times like that, or you're like, nah, their shit's banging?
Well, like they got McDonald's there and stuff like that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, if I'm ever craving something like that, I can definitely go get it. But I love Egyptian food, and I always have. And being over here, like that's one of my favorite parts about touring and stopping at my mama's house. Is like before I even get there, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be there this night. Will you make molokhaya?" Because like I love Egyptian food.
What exactly entails like Egyptian food?
It's very similar to Mediterranean. There's some
Okay.
differences, and there's some dishes that aren't anywhere else. But for the most part, it's similar to that.
Okay.
Damn. Now I'm fucking hungry.
It's almost lunchtime.
Dude, seriously. No, so there's not a lot of authentic Egyptian food in America, right?
There's not, and there's
Especially not in Reno.
The national dish of Egypt is kosheri.
Okay.
And it's really good. It's like pasta with lentils and like some other stuff. And I had this idea because there's this dumpling spot, Russian dumpling spot in Bellingham that's super popping after hours, after the bars and stuff. And they make a killing. And I was like, kosheri is kind of like similar to that. I should open up that spot here. And
There you
maybe make a killing and get to bring people over here, some of like my culture, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be, I mean, the Pacific Northwest up there, I mean, I feel like they embrace that shit with open arms. They're like, tastes good, fucking get a food truck, start a fucking brick and mortar. There you go, bang it out, dude.
Yep.
I mean, you lived in Portland, you know, they fucking, every time I went there, there's always crazy ass food spots and all types of crazy shit.
Portland's food truck city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, first time we ever played there, I came out of the Ash Street Saloon, R.I.P. to that place, and there's just like 40 fucking food trucks on the side of the road, and I was just like, I never seen anything
Everywhere.
like that in my life.
Everywhere, every few blocks, there's a food truck like court. Basically, they like rent out a parking lot, and there's like 5 or 6 food trucks in there. You just go in there, see what they got. It's a little food court.
Fucking hey.
Yeah.
Enough about food. My fat ass fucking man boobing over here. God damn it. Do you have an album in the works right now? You working on a project? What's up? What are you working on?
Right now, I've been releasing monthly singles. We're 6 deep right now. Butter being the last one, the bilingual one. I'm gonna keep that going for a little bit longer, and then I'll be working on the next album because I'm by no means done making albums. But I had all these songs done, and I went through like some shit like people do from time to time, and I just wanted to close that chapter before I moved on. So once all these songs are out, that chapter is closed and I can move forward.
Okay.
And I'm very interested to see how being in Egypt influences my style, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you played a show yet in Egypt?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I'm working on getting into this spot called Cairo Jazz Club over there. My goal for over there is I want to build it up to where I can have a monthly American hip hop night where I'll just like DJ, and it'll be successful enough to where I can fly one homie from over here out there every month.
Yeah. That'd be
show
dope.
him around Egypt and have him do a show. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, that's a. See what I'm saying? This guy's the nicest goddamn guy in the world. He's over there. He's only been there a year. He's still establishing his roots, and he's like, well, let me see if I can build something and bring my folks over.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
The most selfless person I've ever met in my life. I swear to God. You're like fucking walking volunteer.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Volunteer.
I swear to God. Dude.
I'm gonna get my next merch shirt is gonna be like, "Hi, I volunteer."
I'll buy the fuck out of that, dude. That's fucking cool.
So anybody who hasn't heard his music, how would you describe it?
Well, see, that's the thing because he can rap like fast, like bars, but my favorite part that he does is he gets really interpersonal. Yeah. Like you write a lot of like love stuff, about like that song "You."
Mm-hmm.
Great song, by the way.
It's amazing, There's a lot of like personal relationship stuff, which anybody that listens to the podcast and knows us, I always lean towards that more personal style. I mean, I love me some raps and super technical fast stuff, but you don't connect with it as much as you do with being like, I know what he's saying. I've been through that. I'm going through that right now, so it's hard to put a fingerprint on it because he is so versatile, number one. You can rap any way on any beat, like you're a rapper's rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can rap over whatever. It could be trap, it could be a fucking lo-fi, it could be golden era boom bap style, and you'll crush it. You'll do your thing where you're very technical and very poignant with what you're saying. But I feel like you can rap over anything.
Yeah, even when
you've already shown that.
Even when you are fast rapping, it's still telling a narrative. It's still telling a story. It still has a message coming across. It's not like most people when they fast rap and it's just rapping a bunch of stuff just to rap a bunch of stuff, to show how fast you can rap. So
that's the worst kind of fast rap where you're just like, yeah, those words rhyme, but you're not saying anything.
But also, I mean, I think being a product of the, Pacific Northwest, like, it's still got that stamp on it, like I still
absolutely
hear like a little bit of Blue Scholars in there,
Common
Market. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but obviously with your own twist, and I mean, you're a great writer, so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
My favorite part about you and your music is your voice. Obviously, anybody listening to this, you can hear he has a very unique, deeper voice. And you know how to use that, like, within recording a verse, like the way that you use inflections and stuff like that. It, like, will draw certain words out and make them hit differently. It's pretty rare. Like, that's the reason I think I record 500 times for a verse is because I'm like, I feel like I'm just reading it or something. Like, I'm not actually saying what I want. And I feel like you never lacked that. I've never heard a song where you didn't like have the inflection or motion behind what you were saying. Do you often record like right after you write the song, or do you hold on to it for a while before you record it?
I often record right after I write it, especially like I said, like I'll do a bunch of takes, and a lot of the times I'll end up using that first take. And it's like right after I wrote it is when like I feel it the most is why, you know what I mean?
Understandable, yeah.
And then the more you're like trying to record it over and over and getting into the technical things, it seems like the feeling starts to come out of it.
I agree 100%. That's the worst thing for me, I think, is that I record it so many times that the emotion and the feeling kind of just wears off. Yeah. Maybe that's what I got to start doing. I got to take a page out of his book. Damn.
There you go.
No, that's really dope. I'm stoked to see the rest of the songs. Are you just gonna do one every single month for this entire year? So you're gonna basically release an album's worth of music throughout the year.
Yeah, but I think that I'm saying once every month, but I'm kind of deciding as I go when to put it out. Like I might skip this month because I'm on the road the whole month.
Yeah.
And the idea is I want a video for every song too.
Okay.
Which I just started making my own videos just with my phone, and that's been cool. It's been fun to learn and stuff. But next up I have a song produced by the Don Avalar featuring JB out of Oklahoma City, and I would like to do a video for that, so I'm probably gonna skip this month until I can connect with him a little more and get the video down.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys talk amongst yourselves. So I'm gonna go strangle my dog. She wants her ball.
This is a good time to say we do not support or condone animal abuse on this podcast.
Oh shit! So, anything is there anything in particular you miss from Washington? You can't really get in Egypt.
The people.
Just the people.
Yeah, just the people.
Yeah.
Just the people. My people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's good and bad people everywhere, but my people specifically, I miss them. I love them very much. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Don't forget about me.
Well, that's what's up, man. So, anything specific you love about Egypt that you weren't able to get here, besides the food, obviously?
The culture, the way it doesn't revolve around drinking, and people are genuine, and people really like the culture is truly kindness. They really want to like take care of you.
Yeah.
It's an honor to have a guest in your home. You know, open arms. So
it's pretty like religion based, right? Or not necessarily.
It's a Muslim majority country, like very heavy Muslim.
So adheres by society there adheres by the rules for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. But there's like it's like neighborhoods and pockets where it's like a little less like that.
Sure.
It just depends. Everybody is kind of just does whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And Cairo's fucking massive, right?
It is 22 million people, I believe.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
That is so many people.
Yeah.
It's like a drop in the ocean.
Dude, that's like, that gives me anxiety to think
I remember
about.
I went to Mexico City, and I remember we went to the tallest building there, which is one of the tallest buildings in the world, if I remember correctly. But I remember just like being on top and looking out, and you could not see the end of the city at all. The only time your vision stopped was because there's so much pollution, so you couldn't see past the pollution. But other than that, the city just kept going. I assume it's probably
similar,
same kind of thing.
Yeah, like when you're taking off, flying in the airplane and stuff, and you're looking down, it's just like you're flying over the city still for forever.
Damn, just miles
That's
and miles
crazy.
and miles. 22 million people.
That's why I've been having a good time. I just take Ubers to like a random place in Cairo, and then I'll just get out and walk for like 3 or 4 hours and see what's around. And
You could do that for years.
I was going to say.
I could do that my whole life and still not see it all.
Just find something new each time.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Like to think about growing up in like a bigger city or something like that. That's
Especially coming from like Bellingham too, because I mean it's a
Small
small
town.
town, right? Yeah. So,
But I was fortunate enough to like we moved around a lot. I lived all over. Like we lived in L.A. I lived in the Persian Gulf in a big city there. We lived, so I had a little bit of everything.
sure. Okay.
you're well traveled. I mean,
yeah.
Besides the tours and whatnot, obviously. I mean, that's fucking crazy. I just can't get over 22 million people.
It's hard to grasp. Like,
it is
mentally. It's hard to grasp.
It's like we live in Reno, and there's like 200,000 people here.
I think there's more than that these days, but somewhere
Never.
roundabouts.
It'll never grow. But 22 million, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's got to just be exciting though, like
New adventure.
I didn't realize it was that fucking many people. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant when it comes to geographic anything. I don't even know my own city very well.
It's like there's like depending on the neighborhood, obviously there's little pockets where like it's not as intense, you know what I mean? And there's pockets where it's super intense, super crowded. So like once you get to know your way around, like you know where to go when you want a certain type of vibe.
Okay. Yeah. What's the crime like there? Is it like, people are like, oh, in New York, don't go past 112th Street. That's not, unless you live in that neighborhood, don't go there. Is there places like that where you got to like worry about shit?
Not really. There's not really much like violent crime there. It's the most like prominent crime there is like petty theft.
I was gonna say, yeah. They're like, well, I need to fucking eat.
So with a place that big, is there like a universal like downtown, or is there like multiple like downtowns, I guess, just with it being so massive of a city?
There's a like universal downtown for sure, but then also like every neighborhood kind of has its own version of like their downtown.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
But there's a specific like downtown Cairo
what
area.
Would be considered downtown? Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Have you gone and done the tourist stuff?
Yeah.
Like if like. Me and my very, very white Jewish girlfriend went there and like, well, this is what we're gonna do. This is what every white person does ever when they come here. Did you do all that shit too?
I went to the pyramids only because people from over here were visiting me and they wanted to see them.
Of course, yeah. Those damn tourists.
But
otherwise, you wouldn't have gone and seen them. You don't think?
I've seen him before when I
Oh,
was
okay.
younger,
Okay.
but
He's like, that's old news, bro.
Yeah,
but like I know a ton of Egyptians where I've never even been there. You know what I mean? And like when you go there, it's like you got people yelling in your face trying to sell you things,
That's
stuff
what
like
I've
that.
heard.
Like
Yeah,
it's not as cool as just kicking it in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So I prefer to do that.
Yeah, you're getting the real experience.
I love
like,
that.
Which like I had a homie come visit and he got a tour guide and did all the tour shit because I was like I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
And then he kicked it with me too, and I just showed him around like different neighborhoods and stuff, and he was like, "Man, kicking it with you and like seeing this was like way better than the tourist stuff."
Oh, it always is.
I
It
feel
always
like,
is.
yeah.
If you've got a local hookup, that's the way to go.
Yeah, you get to know all the good spots to eat. Like
That's that's what happened when I went to Hawaii, and because it cracks me up. That just made me think of that like comparison I've seen where it's like the Instagram version of the pyramids, and it's nice clear scenery and everything, and then the reality there's like 100,000 people. You can't fucking barely even get close or anything.
Someone's
like
trying to
that.
sell you a bracelet.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Oh, those bracelets be popping.
Seriously, I'll give it to you for free. You know, on you. Now you owe me. You're like,
Yeah.
I thought it was free. Nah, fam.
said I would give it to you for free.
Yeah.
Now you pay me for the bracelet.
They say the best thing they say special price just for you. We were walking through this little market kind of Khalili, and I was with my homie from over here. So like they clearly foreign. They were yelling at him. They're like, for your wife, your next wife, your ex-wife. And just trying to say,
Just slanging that hustle, dog. Hell yeah.
Oh shit! Hell yeah, man.
That's so funny, dude. You got to get your hustle on everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, shit. There's a lot of fucking tourists there at the pyramid, so I mean, that's fucking prime picking.
Oh yeah. Special, one of a kind. Only get at the pyramids.
You can't order it on Amazon.
No,
Hell no.
unless you want to. Look it up. I'll give you a special price.
All right, so we got a couple more minutes before we close it out. I do have one question, just because we never actually sat down and got to like have a conversation before. Do you have a favorite tour memory and then a least favorite tour memory out of all the years of you being on the road?
Wow. There's so many. There's so many. I mean, again, with tour, just in general, meeting people, connecting with people, all of that stuff, seeing cool things. I've got this idea, actually, to start this animated series called The Breaks, where I've got so many stories from touring, and it's just, some of it's just hilarious. Like, so funny. Like, this one time, I don't remember where we were exactly, but I crashed at the after party on the couch, and middle of the night, I hear this out of the kitchen. So, like, after a while, I get up and I go in there. There's this drunk girl just in there just humping the oven. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, hey. And she just looks up at me. She's like, shh. And just keeps humping. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to sleep. This is... A lot of funny things like that you run into that happen. I love like just experiencing all of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so fucking funny, dude. Holy shit. So random.
Yeah. Tour is random. Tour is very random. Like you're in a new city every night with new people, like learning new things, seeing new things. Very random.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what these guys are really about.
They about humping ovens. They about humping ovens, you
That's what
know?
I'm saying. You never know. I mean, shit, could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
That's not something that you ever expect to see, though. You're like, oh, there might be some people in here fucking or something. Or,
Yeah.
You know, but not just a lady just
Humping an oven.
That's so funny, dog.
And then least favorite memory probably when my car broke down, but it also turned into a good memory because I was on a tour, Landon was on a tour, and he was about 2 weeks ahead of me, or maybe a week ahead of me. So we were on basically like the same tour, but I was a little behind him. And my car broke down in Redding, California, and Landon turned around, scooped me up, and I just ended up hopping on his tour with him unexpectedly. So that turned into a really cool tour and a really good experience, but I didn't like that my car broke down and I lost my car.
Yeah, did you just leave it in Reading?
I did. I left it in Redding on the side of the road.
Sometimes it'd be like that. I've heard, the stories. That's my biggest fear, is like you just so far from home in your car, you're like...
Car troubles,
And that's my car, though. Like, that's what I use to... That's my car in my life. That's not a rental car. That's not...
No, exactly.
That sucks, dog. That's... Fuck it. I mean... the shit you go through just to play some shows.
Right.
It's all worth it.
Yeah. You just got impounded and you never saw the car again? You just
I don't know what happened to
you
it.
donated it to the
I
highway?
literally just left it on the side of the road. I don't know what happened to it, but it was red in California, so I'm guessing it got like stripped and a bunch of shit got stolen out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. The next morning, the cops drove by and it was just on blocks. Doors are missing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some lady humping it. Oh shit. Well, I really appreciate you coming by.
Man.
I know you could have, went and, had breakfast or headed down to the bay, but you decided to come hang out at my house and listen to my dog bark and meet my son. And I really appreciate it, man. It's been too long.
Yes,
Hopefully it won't be another 2 or 3 years before we see you again. Maybe we can do some shows together in the future.
Hopefully.
Hit me up and maybe
We'll make the trip to Egypt.
there we go. I have
Come through.
I've got a passport. I need to utilize it.
I'm trying to I want to say this too. Anybody that's coming to Egypt, hit me up. I got an extra bedroom. I'll be your translator. I would love to show you around. I love showing people where I come from and showing them the culture and all that. So
yeah.
y'all too, especially because y'all I actually know, you know.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that in my fruition book,
Right.
where I write shit down and only some of it gets done.
If you plan it far enough ahead of time, you can find like $700 round trip tickets.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
That's not bad, I feel like.
And once you get over there, everything's super cheap.
I was just gonna ask, what's the price difference? Is it a lot cheaper over there?
I pay $130 a month for rent for a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's crazy.
My bills are like probably around $10 a month for everything. It's
What?
super cheap. You go, they got like I get these breakfast sandwiches delivered. They're like 39 cents each.
That's crazy. So like when you come back from this tour, you get done with the tour, you got a little bit of money in your pocket, then you go there and you're like, I made a shit ton of money off that tour.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
perspective
Yeah,
to
so it's
what
like
it costs there.
In the U.S., you're like, damn, I'm like breaking even, got a little bit extra
Yeah.
there. Then you come back home, you're like,
Yeah, you're like
balling.
rent's not $2,000 a month. Fuck, wow.
Yeah, like I saved up 10 grand and went over there, and it lasted me a year. And that
That's
includes
amazing.
like in between time I went and traveled over to Rome and stuff like that. So it's not expensive. You
That's fucking
Damn.
dope. Well, that helps a lot because the first thing I think about is how much is it going to cost me? Plane ticket's the most expensive thing.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like
You
it.
go there with $1,000, you'd be chilling for a minute.
know, $1,000, you'll be so good. Like you don't even need that much if you're there for like a week. Bring like $200, $300 and you're good for the week.
Damn.
Before we go, I do want to ask, what's the weather like there? Is it always just hot as shit?
It gets cold like 1 month a year in January, and it cools down a little bit in the fall. Like fall would be like springtime in Bellingham.
That's nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not dumping rain for fucking 7 months, or it's not snowing in frozen
Randomly.
tundras.
It hardly ever rains, like maybe twice a year. It's cool. I like it.
That's awesome, man.
Snap.
Snap at my dog. Yeah, snap at my dog. Well, I really, again, thank you so much for coming through. I really,
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate it. I'm glad you got to rock a show last night. Everybody listening and watching, make sure you hit up his Instagram. He's got all of his links there. You can go to his website. You can go to his shows.
Yes.
Most importantly, make sure you hit him up on Spotify. Start streaming his music because every little bit helps. Being an independent artist is a goddamn struggle, especially when you do it 100% solo, from driving to writing to recording and everything. So make sure you support him. If you want one more time, you can drop all your social medias, let the folks know so they can go ahead and give you a follow.
At follow Mostafa, Mostafa on everything.
Simple as that.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, we love it. And we're going to close the episode out with a song by Mostafa. It's called Y.O.U. Thank you guys, and we out.
Peace.